Let's quickly review the difference between a passive verb and a present perfect active verb. So looking at the pink, the passive verbs, we form these verbs by using the to be verb plus the past participle. Now look down at the green, present perfect active verb. We form the present perfect by using to have plus the past participle. Okay, so both passive verbs and present perfect verbs end with the past participle. The difference will be that the passive will have the verb to be in front of the past participle, and the present perfect will have the verb to have. Now let's look at the present perfect and the present continuous. The present perfect up the top in green, as we said before, it uses the to have verb plus the past participle. Now let's look down at the purple, the present continuous. We form this verb with the to be verb plus the ing verb. So the present continuous, some examples are living, is laughing, am feeling. Let's look at the first example of the present continuous. The families who are living on my street are very friendly. So here we have the to be verb are and the ing verb living, the continuous verb living. Okay, so in most of our verbs that we have learnt in Certificate 2 so far, we learn that when you see a to be verb, the next verb after it is normally a ing verb, like the present continuous. The families who are living on my street are very friendly. But let's look back at the passive verb. The passive verb also has a to be verb at the start, but instead of an ing verb, it has the past participle. So that's the difference. When you see a verb that is to be, and then after it is the past participle, we know it's going to be a passive verb. But if you see a verb that starts with to be and ends with an ing verb, we know it's the present continuous. Let's look at activity 1 and let's see if we can see which verbs are present continuous, present perfect, or passive. Number 1, my car was stolen last night. This one has been done for you. This verb was stolen, okay? So here we have was. Was is a to be verb. The second verb after it is a past participle, stolen. So we know when we have a to be verb that is followed by the past participle, this is a passive verb. So I just wrote passive in red after the sentence there. Number 2, some kids have stolen my car. The verb have stolen. The verb starts with the to have verb and it ends with the past participle stolen. This verb is a present perfect verb. That's why I've written present perfect in green after the sentence. Let's look at number 3. Look, they are stealing my car. Look for the verb, are stealing. The first verb is a to be verb, and the second verb is an ing verb. So we know it's a present continuous verb. So I wrote in purple present continuous at the end. Okay, so I'm going to let you do number 4 all the way down to number 12. Stop the video and see if you can choose or first find the verb and then write on a piece of paper if that verb is present continuous, present perfect, or passive. So stop the video now, and then when you're finished, you can press start again. Okay, so I hope you found the verbs. Let's look at number 4 together. We have lived in Australia for almost 4 years. First, find the verb, have lived. Okay, the verb starts with the to have verb and it ends, the second verb is the past participle. So this tells us it is the present perfect. So at the end of number 4, we can write present perfect. Number 5, my friend has been in hospital for 3 nights. Okay, find the verb, has been. So has is a verb from to have, and been is the past participle. So this verb also is the present perfect. So write present perfect at the end of sentence number 5. Number 6, my dad was given 3 birthday presents for his birthday. Find the verb, was given. Now the first verb is the to be verb, and the second verb is the past participle. This tells us that this is a passive verb. So you can write passive at the end of sentence number 6. Number 7, the mice have eaten my cheese. First find the verb, have eaten. The first verb is to have, and the second verb is the past participle, eaten. This tells us that it is the past perfect. So at the end of sentence 7, write present perfect. Number 8, many kind people have helped me in my life. Okay, again, find the verb, have helped. First verb is to have, second verb is past participle. So this is also a present perfect. Number 9, I was given a red rose for Valentine's Day. Find the verb, was given. All right, the first verb is to be verb. The second verb is the past participle. So we know that this is a passive verb. Number 10, the flowers are growing well. The verb, are growing. The first verb is a to be verb. The second verb is an ing verb. So this tells us it is a present continuous verb. Number 11, I have seen many beautiful sunsets. The verb, have seen. The first verb is a to have verb, and the second verb, seen, is a past participle. This tells us it is a present perfect verb. Number 12, my daughter is called Jane. The verb is called. The first verb is the to be verb is, followed by the past participle called. This is a passive verb. Let's look at activity 2. Change these verbs to present perfect or present continuous. Okay, so the sentence in number 1, the verb is underlined, is lived. Now, Is the verb to be, and lived is a past participle. So this is a passive verb, but remember, a passive verb is telling something that happened to the subject. Let's read number 1. The people is lived there for a long time. Who is doing the living? The subject is doing the living, the people. So we can't use a passive verb. Let's look at number 2. Most of the people who is lived in Kojo are very old. Let's find the verb. Is lived. Now, is lived, like we said before, this is a passive verb. But let's think about it. Who is doing the living? The subject? The people? Yes. So because the subject is doing the verb, we can't use a passive verb. You must choose a present perfect or present continuous verb. Number 3. The people who is lived there is lived there for a long time. Again, have a think about number 3 and the verbs, and think about what is the subject, and is the subject doing the verb? If the subject is doing the verb, we can't have a passive verb. It must be present perfect or present continuous. Stop the video now and see if you can work out what the verbs in sentence 1, 2, and 3, what they should be. Okay, if you've written those sentences out again, please email me those sentences, and I will check your verbs for you. So lastly, you can do the next bit of the activity, write the verb in the gaps. Again, write these down on a piece of paper or type them on your computer and send the answers to me. But I'll do the first one for you so that you understand. So sentence number 4, we something in Wagga for 4 years. Now we can see the verb at the end, live. We have to make live into a present perfect verb or a present continuous verb. Look at the time. For 4 years. So this tells us the time. So the time started in the past up until now, 4 years. So that tells us that using the present perfect would be good in this sentence. We have lived. So the first verb is to have, the second verb is the past participle, that is the present perfect verb. So see if you can do number 5, 6, 7, and 8. Actually, I'll do number 5 with you. The people who something passed my house now look happy. So the time, we know it's happening now. So to talk about a verb happening now, we use the present continuous. And we need to use the verb walk. So let's change that. The people who, present continuous starts with the to be verb. The people who are, and it ends with an ing verb. So walking. Past my house, now look happy. Okay, so again, write out number 6, 7, and 8 and send them to me and I will mark your answers.